Perhaps when you were ill and you thought, will I ever get over this sickness? Look back and you remember the time when you were well. Now there was a time, perhaps you don't remember it, when you were peaceful, cheerful, and happy. So do not put the barrier up that you can never get over. Do some positive thing. The greatest positive thing to bring about cheerfulness is to do regularly. Discipline yourself by proper meditation to contact God. And I tell you that even the worst habits you have, which sometimes are worse than lack of cheerfulness, they will fall off before the greatest power in the universe, the love of God. So remember, that's the greatest thing to bring about cheerfulness. Having that, having the cheerfulness of the presence of God, that's the best medicine for everything. That'll offset everything. That's the greatest antidote. I have a few helpful hints written down here. I think we can all listen and be helped. The first is this. We must get out of living with the small negative things of life. That's one of the greatest things. We must remove the habit that we have of living with and discussing the faults of others. The Master always said, when you get together and you have a tendency to discuss others, their faults, then discuss your own. Look to yourself. Clear up your faults. What a wonderful transformation will come over you. And you will not be living in the negative state. So when that comes, when the opportunity comes or the inclination to discuss the faults of others, look to yourself. Look to yourself. You'll feel good when you find out some of your own faults and get rid of them. And one important thing I want to stress at this time is this, that when you discuss with others, do not discuss their faults, but give them love. But also, and this is important, you may have the best intention to help others spiritually and morally. Do not do it unless they ask you to do it. Because if you do, it will turn against you. It will rebound. But when a person comes with real love in their heart, and they are truly your friends and ask for spiritual and moral help, all right, give it to them. Otherwise, do not do it. But just give them love instead. And if you are trying to help someone by being cheerful, you know, some people put on the front, so to speak, galvanized smile, being cheerful, imitating cheerfulness. You can't fool people with that. Their soul knows. The Master used to call it galvanized smile. Their soul knows that. Your soul would know. My soul would know when one of those fellows comes and tries to be funny that way. But be natural. Feel it from your heart. Be cheerful from your soul. That will do it. But not that other business. You cannot get away with it. Their soul knows. Your soul knows. So if you're going to be cheerful, try to be cheerful to help people. You know, when you come to someone who is cheerful, naturally you feel an upliftment. That's all right. But just to put it on will not work. You have to be genuinely cheerful. Be sincere to others. Now going on, true and permanent happiness is your birthright. Having that true and permanent happiness, then you can be cheerful. That's your birthright. And an important thing is this, that the heart's natural love is there in your heart. Natural cheerfulness is there because the soul smiles naturally. It's the attachment to outward consciousness, sensation, that brings about this grouchiness and such things. Naturally, we're cheerful. And so that is the thing to remember, that the natural state of the heart is of cheerfulness. The love is there naturally. And as Sri Yukteswarji said, it is almost impossible to advance one step toward heaven until you cultivate that natural cheerfulness, natural love of the heart you cannot advance toward heaven. It is a natural thing. It is a natural thing. The soul is naturally smiling all the time. But these things, attachment to matter, over incarnations have clouded it. But never mind. Get out of the cloud. Get behind the cloud. We know the method. The Master's given us the greatest method. He has made it easy for us to contact God. Why not do it? Why not do it? Once feeling the presence of God, seeing His infinite light, feeling His love through you, it can be nothing but cheerful. You may make a show of being cross, but underneath is just that bliss of God. You can't get cross at anybody. You have to be careful. You can't show that. But really inside, the Master used to give it to us terribly. Boy, we used to get it. But just before He passed away, He just wanted to be sure that we didn't think that was His real nature. He said, remember, He said, I've been awful cross with you during life, but never inside. Never, and that was right. But He certainly could give it to us. And He did. But inside He was understood, because the soul is naturally serene and smiles, a great smile of cheerfulness. Have that. That's the greatest antidote. So, when you feel the presence of God with you, it is naturally easy to be cheerful. Because you have something that's real. It is not put on. Even it is not the product of your will and determination. It's naturally there. But you have to use your will and determination to achieve that. Something comes only with effort. And so the Master was the greatest example of cheerfulness. I used to come to him with all sorts of problems. And I admit I wasn't so much grouchy, but I was cynical, and I was fearful. I had that tendency. I used to get depressed. Things came so swift and so hard, and when I'd come into His presence, I couldn't bother Him a bit.